Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, to the finale! It's going to be huge. I'm assuming this will be at least a 40-45 minute episode, possibly more, I don't know. I've done a couple of very big finales recently of my last few series, so you know, start as you mean to go on, I suppose. Right, well, let's start. We are here in Sanctuary Fortress, in the Hall of Combat Mastery, that we're about to head through to the Culling Chamber. This episode we're going to do 5 things. We're going to, wow, depends how you categorize them. Let's say 3 things. Those things are going to be gathering the remaining Sky Keys, gathering the remaining everything else, and doing the rest of the game. I could really condense that up or down as much as I wanted. So we're going to start off by getting some keys here in Sanctuary. So here in the Culling Chamber, there's a room to the right here we've just literally never been to. Why have we never been to it? Because it was useless for us to come here. Was it though? That's not where I was thinking of. Where was I? I was looking at that door on the end there. That's where I want to go. So I'm going to head off to the other side of the Culling Chamber. So, this is the new door, and this leads through to the Unseen Way. Which would be scary if you couldn't see the way through the Unseen Way. Why did I not do this before? Well, we could have done this before because I had the Dark Visor, but there's just not really anything here we can actually do. Because all that does is brings us down to the Hive Reactor. Which, well, if you've not had a chance to scan the old Dark Ink Smasher, there's a chance to do so. But we've got a few more things we can access here. There is a door to the left here. So this is where we ended last episode, which has got a dark light beam in it. That sounds like a weird phrase. Can't do anything with that. All it does is damage you. But what there is an ammo station. Let's use that. And then round to the other side. So that was what was the map station in Ether. That Dark Ink Smasher just, ow, tends to stomp around a little bit. I just can't be asked to fight him at this stage. Ink Smashers are one of those ones that are like Elite Pirates. Well, not exactly like Elite Pirates because this game uses the same engine, where they're just time consuming to fight and it's not worth the effort. So whether you find a save machine station is on Ether, there is also a save station here. Let's quickly heal up. And then we can actually proceed onwards. What we're doing is going right to the entrance of Sanctuary Fortress. But we've been to the entrance of Sanctuary Fortress. We haven't been to the entrance of the Ing Hive, that kind of area. And for now, honestly, this is always a fun bit. You've got a lot of night bulbs around. If you energize that crystal in the middle, they all just blend themselves, which is great fun. Yes, we've never been to the entrance of the Ing Hive, and there's something new here. Bring up your scan visor here. No, it's not those. Those are mildly interesting. Dark energy orbs that transfer it to other parts of the Ing Hive. Now here is where we needed it. Another little swarm thing coming around the corner, and it's all launching itself at us, and scanning that can be a bit of a bastard. There we go. This is an Ing lava swarm. This is literally the only place in the game you find them, and you don't necessarily naturally come here, though you do have to come here for what we're about to do. Large pack of hunting infants. Swarm is largely harmless. Infants will avoid bright light where possible. Largely harmless, it says. They don't do much damage launching themselves into your face, but they're like any swarm enemy, you can just shoot through them, and they're actually quite a nice chance to just regenerate some ammo or something like that, but they are the only time you see them there. Now things get interesting. We're on full ammo, which is nice, because we are on... I lied last episode, by the way, when I said that was the only light beam in the game. This one clearly isn't. This one clearly is here. We've got a lot of Preeds flying around, and here I'm going to show off a very interesting feature of the Annihilator Beam. Whether you're L-target or not, the Annihilator Beam homes in on the nearest enemy, and it's wonderful for taking out Preeds like this, because it means you can just shoot forwards, and eventually they all get hits. When it's close up to an enemy, it'll just go zoink into it, and I believe we're clear. Can you tell what we have to do here? Should be obvious enough. We need to cross it with the screw attack. I lied about the screw attack as well. It's not unlimited. You can only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps, and then you can't do any more. And that's just enough to get across there. You got to really time them. So if you just hammer A, you won't manage it. You actually have to really arc properly with each one. So once you're up here, unsurprisingly, I'm going to reverse straight back into the light. Oh, I wouldn't mind so much if it was such a long cutscene. So, let's try that again. What we need to do is now screw attack fully to the other side. So, I would really, to make these, screw attack sections easier, use full advantage of your double jump first, do your first long jump, and then a second long jump behind that, and then go into your screw attacks. Over here, we have a flying incash, because this is where S-Jitters was. If that's true, that's really disturbing, the fact I'm even memorising the names of the bloody Luminoth, because they are ugly names to pronounce. Anyway, that's our first Sky Key from Sanctuary. We're not actually going to gather the other one for now, so what I want to do is head back to right where we started the episode, the Hall of Combat Mastery. So, here we're just by the portal, and we have this large glass tunnel here, which is made of numerous alloys, including densium. And the other hint to the fact that you can destroy this with a power bomb is the fact that this is what it looks like in the culling chamber. The glass bridge is broken. This then means we have access to another bit here, and this is our final one of the secret teleporters. Oh, there's another quad ow here, which I'm going to try and avoid fighting. But yes, this is one of the transporters that takes you between different areas. So this is a quite handy one, because if we activate it, transport to Agon Wastes granted. Wonderful. Let's go. So, to stop you getting here too early, as you can see, this place is locked down by a power bomb door, so let's open that up. And yeah, while we're here, we're going to gather the remaining stuff in Agon, which is a fair few things, including the 2 of Agon's Sky Keys, but also there's some extra power bomb expansions and stuff. So, as you can see, yeah, we've come to the ventilation chamber, something it's called, and this brings us to the main reactor back in the Space Pirate section. So, with that done, we're going to head over to Dark Ether, and we're going to head through to the Doomed Entry. So, here, oh, it just feels weird being back in Dark Agon Wastes, and Agon shit music as well. It's just... Right, so I think the Dark Ether musics are generally not particularly good. They're like, at best, they're like a weird version of the Dark Ether, the Ether music, but when there's very little music for you even to play with in the first place, like Agon Waste, you just... Awful. Right, so here there are some Warrior Ring down there, and if I'm clever enough with the... So there are disadvantages, as you can see, to the Annihilator Beam homing in. Basically, those warriors will give me a lot of shit if they're kept alive. But I want to be able to kill them without going down to where they are. There we go. So, that super zone is now going to gently suck the Ying in. That sounds like one of them burst on it. Basically, once they're in goo mode, they are inexorably sucked towards it. This one appears to be just kind of vaguely blinded, so I'm going to take advantage of that and just hit it with a super missile. Dude, a Warrior Ring can just take a super missile? Well, you know it can't take 2, which is worth knowing. Anyway, the reason why we want to stay up here is because if we bring the Dark Visor up, there's a fair system of floating platforms. I'm going to kill someone. Alright, let's try that again. Whenever you fuck that up as well, the Warrior Ring respawns. So, all of these platforms, as you can see, are moving. So it's a bit of a... Really thought I'd missed that one for a moment. Bit of a tricksy platforming section. Once you've got this far, you just want to head onto this bit here. And you can see our target over there. I'm actually just going to make things a bit easier for myself. Because... Well, actually, this doesn't really make anything easier. Oh! Looks like the platform's in the way there. Oh, now I've made things actually much harder for myself, because now I can't see using the Dark Visor very well, because I blew up the flying incash. Okay, so what I said there, do literally the opposite of that, and you'll be fine. Here is our first Sky Key from Dark Agon Wastes. That was a bit of a mouthful for some reason. Wonderful. Let's head over to the feeding pit. So, here we need to test out another one of the abilities of the light suit, which is Dark Water. Previously, if we touched Dark Water, you only seem to sink into it to about ankle depth, but then it starts damaging you. It's weird. Oh, God. That's creepy. Lumite, fuck off. Now, we can actually move in it, and it's usually, in most places, much deeper than you thought it was. But it hides things in it, like, for example, a power bomb expansion here, which is wonderful. Let's head over now to the Phazon site. So, from here, you'll notice over there is an Annihilator door, which is very difficult to access normally, but once you're here and have the screw attack, as we do, easy, like, triple jump over to it, and you can open it up. Perhaps the easiest you ever have to fight to get a beam combo. So, this is the Sonic Boom, and it's a shame you get this so late in the game, and it's unfortunately not very useful against the remaining bosses of the game, and you're not really needing to fight any other enemies. The Sonic Boom is unique among beam combos, and actually I would go as far as to say weapons in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, in that it takes no time to move. I'll show it off hopefully at some point later in the episode. But yeah, basically you fire it, and it just hits instantly where you are looking at. It takes no time to travel from your arm cannon to the target, which is awesome. Anyway, we are nearly done in Dark Agon Waste. We now just need to head quickly over to the Dark Oasis. So, here we've got, in the center of this room here, is this large block of everyone's favorite material, Denzium. Let's blow it up. And this opens to quite a large area behind it. And the main thing in here is Inkstorm and Dark Water, the two things which are designed to tell you, fuck off, don't be coming in here until you've got the light suit. Once you're down here, though, underwater, confusingly enough, is your... use your words, Doctor. Flying in cache. Really make sure you scan that because we're getting towards the end of them now. We've only got two more Sky Keys to get because we've got... that's our second one in Agon, so now we've only got the 2 in Torvus left to do, which is wonderful. So, now all we need to do is quickly clean up some stuff in Light Agon Wastes. So, we're going to head over to the Sand Canyon. So here, it's not really any surprise what helps us here. As in, usually we would take the Kinetic Orb Cannon all the way across the Sand Canyon, but here we can now use the Screw Attack to cross halfway, and oh shock, 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 Denzium. Well, better hope that wasn't important. Let's grab, though, our final Power Bomb expansion upgrade of the game. That's pretty much everything on the top of the visualizer now. I think we might be missing 1 energy tank. Yeah, maybe 2. But other than that, yeah, we've got all the beam expansions, and we have got all the other things. Power bombs now. So, let's head back to the mining plaza. Now here, we saw this thing ages ago. But if we scan it, it's for solar lens modified as part of the Luminoth sonic security system, sonic detection gear needed, etc. They hinted this right from the start, which is quite cool actually, because it let you know the Echo Visor was coming, but ages before you got it. Also, yeah, this thing, which is very clearly an Amorbis. But it's, yeah, apparently a statue the purpose of the nose possibly places a warning to travellers. And this is part of a whole theory, which is that Amorbis is of Luminoth design. One of the big features on it is it's got those 3 eyes on the front, which are 3 lights, which are kind of common on, for example, they're on the light suit, and they're on a number of other bits of like Luminoth technology. For example, I'm looking at them over here as well. And the theory is, yeah, that's Amorbis was originally a Luminoth Guardian gone wrong. Anyway, as it says, there's a sonic lock in progress here, so you've got 3 targets to hit. Hit that one first. And yes, as you can see, it brings a lens up, which starts a focusing process. Continuing that, you can actually see the sonic locks are actually also visible in the normal spectrum, you just can't target them. And with all 3 done, as you can see, an energy tank unlocks, and this is a huge bastard to get to. Because you have to do a screw attack, and you have to time it well, to be in the right part of the arc of your screw attack when you get there. Oh my god, I just did it first try. When I was practicing, that took me nearly 20 minutes. Well, is that a final energy tank? No, I don't quite think so, but it's bloody close. Where is it? It really looks like it should. I can't tell if there's space for one. You'll know, obviously, but anyway. Time to now head over to Torvus Bog and over to the Meditation Vista. Now over here, as you can see, there's a platform there, and I've cocked up and missed it. What you have to do is time a screw attack for about here-ish, such that it looks like you're going to miss the platform, but you're actually going to hit it, except I missed it there. I hit it in terms of timing, missed it in terms of, actual accuracy. It's just as it wants to be sliding back. That might be slightly off. There we go, Adridia. There we go, and it takes us over to what is actually the final energy tank in the game. Wonderful! With that done, time to head over to Dark Torvus and down to the Poison Bog. Now here, so this is the dark version of, oh dear me, of Torvus. Oh, well it's showing me what I was going to do anyway. Dark version of Torvus Lagoon it's called, I'm just incinerating that. Huntering, there we go. And if we go underwater here and round to the side, this is where there was, I believe, a missile expansion or something like that in Ether, in Dark Ether. There is a flying in cache. Let's blow that up. And grab our first of the 2 Torvus Sky Temple keys. So, now we need to head down to the Under Temple. So, down here, just next to where we fought the Powerbomb Guardian, is a, what's it called, power jump? Wall jump section, which is a bit weird because it's much wider girth than the usual ones, but works nonetheless. Grab yourself a missile expansion. Then we need to head, I think, over to the catacombs back on the light side. So from here, up to the right is, I pointed this out when we were first here, but there is an Annihilator door, which brings us into an entirely new area of the Under region. That sounds really dodgy. You can access this from either the Gathering Hall or the Catacombs side, so it's relatively... It doesn't actually really matter, you'll see why when we kind of get to it. Because it's just a kind of a straightforward enough puzzle. And yeah, just a bit of a time for a rest. So you have these, like... water forces which are going down, but you hit this bomb slot here, they start going up. And even with the addition of the gravity boost, you still don't fly indefinitely up these. So this is a case of learning how to do jet jumps, or like double multiple jumps when underwater. And as you can see, the timing on them is annoying, even for someone who is as, in inverted commas, practiced as me. I wonder what this episode's been on so far. It's probably going to be about 17 minutes. It's somewhere between 15 and 20, I think. Oh, I'm just not dropping it too soon. Not dropping it soon enough. There we go. Oh, well, that was too late. God damn it. And there we go. It's just before the crest of your jump. And I just... Once I've got this one, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just about getting that timing that one time when you just... Then from there we... What? I mean, I feel like that one really should have had it. Oh, come now. There we go. Oh, and I cocked it up. Well, at least I have the timing now, so obviously it's going to be perfect from now on. Actually, it did do it pretty spot on there. If we can jump up this one here, and then boost through that one and up into there, which activates the second one, and there you go. So I've done... Well, actually, we need to go around the edge to make sure we're not caught in the thing. Yeah, so I did the last episode and this episode I'm doing in one session, and so far my recording time's up to an hour and a half, which is a very long time for 1 and a bit episodes. But these are big collecty episodes, so I always knew it was kind of going to be like this. I've lost the timing again. But the amazing thing is that means the entirety of Metroid Prime 2 is going to be 4 recording sessions. 1 for Agon, 1 for Torvus, 1 for Sanctuary, and 1 for the other shit, which is what this session is. I always knew this was going to be just because there'd be so much cutting, I knew it was going to be a big session, even if it wasn't actually that long in terms of like episodes. It was going to be a lot of off-camera time. Anyway, as you can see, missile expansion there, which is wonderful. So now we're going to head back over... Oh, look at that! 100% of all pickups acquired! Special ending unlocked! That's great. That means we've got 100% of everything except for scans, as you can probably tell from the visualizer was there. But still cool to see, because that was our final missile expansion. So, what we need to do now is head over to the dark version of the catacombs. So, over here we can finally head into the water and drop down into a large area here with one of the more ridiculous scans in the game in terms of just how easy it is to miss one of our last mechanoids. Our last mechanoid, actually. A watch drone, rogue sentry mechanoid. Indestructible but irritated by bright light. What a ridiculous combination of things. Target can be headed out of place by exposing it to light. So it's got a beacon above its head. Activate that beacon. And the watch drone will be like, the fuck is this? And amble out of the way. Which means you can then morph ball up behind it. And now this gives us access to a lot more of an area here. Once again, there's a second beacon there, which moves a watch drone. Make sure you scan watch drones here, because this is literally the only room they're in. They're a really easy scan to miss in the game. Once you've got this far, there is... Oh, I shot it without even seeing it. You're flying in cache. Hit that. And there we go. That is every Sky Temple key in the game. And as the thing last told us, we've got every pickup in the game. Now all we need... thank you for reminding me. And now all we need is every scan in the game. And of course, the only remaining scans are bosses. Wonderful. I'm actually just going to show off one final thing. Let's head back to Torvus Energy Controller. So, as we were told, we can actually now use beams of light to travel between the temples, and this is the easiest way back to the Great Temple. So let's just choose here. You can choose, yeah, any of the 4 temples to go to. So we're going to head to, right in the middle there, the Great Temple. Prepare for a ridiculous cutscene. God, I had that ridiculous Superman flight. Looks outrageous. Ugh. Anyway, you may notice as well the music here has changed actually now. It's a bit more upbeat now that we've technically restored all the energy to the planet. So, as you well know, all we need to do now is deliver the final blow to the Sky Temple. So let's head over to the Sky Temple Gateway. And here we are. Fittingly next to Arkul's body, we finally complete her quest of opening up the Sky Temple. Let's do it. All Sky Temple keys have been returned. You can now enter the Sky Temple. And you know that horrific cutscene I just showed you with Samus flying Superman style through a beam of light? Yes, we do see that now here if we use this beam of light as well. So, welcome to the Sky Temple properly. And this is an interesting one. Whereas every other area of Dark Aether is a kind of pretty close mirror of its equivalent on Dark Aether. No. Did I say that right? I may have said Dark Aether twice. The Sky Temple is weird. The Sky Temple, compared to the Great Temple, where Umos lives, I suppose, the Sky Temple is inverted. So we came in at what would have been the roof, and as we climb up the temple, we are looking down on it, so it's a complete like upside down mirror of it. Very Stranger Things, which is quite interesting rather than being the direct one-to-one. But it's not a huge area. Don't worry. You saw there was a save point there. Please use that. If you need to reload ammo at all, the easiest way to do that is to go back to your ship. Probably should have done that before coming out here again. That was a very not helpful comment from me. Well, that's what you get for not very helpful comments. And once you're at the top here, that's as simple as it is. Here's the final energy controller. Well, introducing the final boss. I would argue possibly even a more fun of a final boss than the original Metroid Prime. This is the Emperor Ing, and he's got a fair few scans. 5 of them specifically. Or is it 4? I should know that. 5. So, first off, his head. Emperor Ing Head, ruler of the Ing Horde. Target will form numerous tentacles to defend itself. Eliminate them to weaken its defenses. We also have the body to scan at the bottom. Emperor Ing Body, ruler of the Ing Horde. Target is drawing energy from the unstable energy controller. Eliminating the target's connection to the energy may be an effective strategy. To remember that one. So, what we need to do in the first instance is get rid of its tentacles. There's a number of ways of doing that. As you can see, you can just target its tentacles and you can shoot at them just with the normal power beam. I find the best way to do it is you don't need that much light or dark ammo, particularly during this fight, so I would say you can fairly easily just fire Annihilator beams, just fire them up there, loosely, they'll hit. The Annihilator is very good, it never misses its targets. Oh, I never even showed off the Sonic Boom. Oh well. The other option is Seeker missiles are really handy. Yes, as you'll notice, there's phazon all around the edge of the arena. Oh, he's trying to do a dirty thing. Stop that. Yeah, there's phazon all around the edge of the arena, which is very frustrating if you're trying to just move. It means basically if you get too close to him, he'll smack you. If you get too close to the phazon, you'll take damage as well. So, there we go. Once that's done, he retreats around and he kind of becomes his little eye form here. And we need to scan this eye as well. This is the easiest scan to miss on Emperor Ring. Unstable ing biomass, central eye is protected by potent barrier shields. Shield does not provide complete coverage, however. So, as you can see, there's two little slots on it. And what you need to do is get round to those slots, and there you go is your window to fire a super missile in. I completely missed the window, and then there goes your chance entirely. And that's how the first phase of Emperor Ring goes. So I'm going to go back to... Actually, while he's got a fair few of these tentacles out, might as well seek a missile. I've got, let's be honest, a fucking crap ton of missiles, so it'd be stupid not to use them to a certain extent. And a single super missile does take out each one. As you will notice, when you destroy a tentacle, drops a bit of light and a bit of dark ammo, and a bit of, I think, healing potentially out of them. Missiles, everything. So that's where you actually get your... Any healing you need from is from destroying Emperor Ring's tentacles. Now we've got a chance on his eyeball again, and that is the shot you need. So a super missile straight into that cleft... Ugh, not a nice word. Will deal a hearty bit of damage to him. And there was going to be another bit there. As you will have noticed there, I'm not being completely stupid. When his laser hits you, if you're charging a beam, you are no longer charging a beam. If you're about to fire a missile, you are no longer doing so. It really just kind of gimps your weapon systems, which is really annoying. As you will notice as well, the more damage you do to him, the more bloody tentacles he spawns with. But look at those Annihilator shots go. They are tenacious. Annihilator shots don't miss. I'm not kidding when I say that. I really do mean it. So once again, now I'm down to one tentacle. I'll just go back onto normal weapon systems. I've got a lot of missiles. So, oh, super missile on the tentacle. Bit of a risky move. Not risky, but just extravagant, I suppose. There's your cleft again, hit him, and as you'll notice, he'll only take one more, and there it is. Oh, you didn't possibly think it'd be that easy, did you? Introducing his second form, Emperor Ing Chrysalis. Regenerating Ing Ruler. Target's regen shell is magnetically charged. 11 weak points have been detected. Target them with concussive blast to shatter the regen shell. So that means we can climb it with a spider ball. And these little holes here, wait near one of them, and eventually a little tendril will come out and slap you around. Those tendrils are what you gotta damage. What I want to do here, because it's a nice easy way of doing it, position yourself between two tendrils, and when they emerge, drop a power bomb. You have no use for power bombs at all in the rest of the game, and I've got 10 power bomb upgrades, so I really might as well use it. Basically, they are more powerful, and also the more important thing compared to a regular bomb, they are more long-lasting. They stand there potentially doing damage, like if I drop one... Oh, God, you know what? Basically, if I can get all these 3 of these to pop out at the same time, the power bomb stays there for about 6 seconds, during which time it absolutely damages anything it comes near, which is great. Oh, bugger. Have I already taken these guys? Nope, there it is. There's your moment. Whoop! So, there they went back in. Nope, I'll crack one there anyway. See, even if it was just thinking about emerging, dropping a power bomb is enough to discourage it. You can see where you've... Actually, you can't see where you've defeated one, which is a bit annoying. There we go, let's slap those 2 down. Man, they did not appear for long. As you will notice as well... Oh, did I not even kill that one at the top? This is... I'm not having a good time here. Ugh. There we go. That looked good. There you go. As you can see to the left there, when you defeated one, you get a dirty purple smoking crater where it was. The fog in this room is dangerous and periodically rises and falls, and there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, about 4 or 5 multiple bombs take these guys out, or a single power bomb, and yeah, holding on to power bombs, no point in that. Just because you're never going to need them again. Trust me on that, basically. You're on the bloody final boss, and none of his phase... This is the only morph ball phase, so if anything, this is when you need power bombs for. You know what I mean. Right, let's wait on these guys. That looks like that one's about to emerge. Ah, bloody inglets are crawling all over this thing, which can be really problematic. Ooh, another power bomb, I'll take it. Back up to 5, wonderful. That should be a good... Ooh, that looked good on the power bomb there. I got at least one of them. Oh, weirdly I didn't get the one I was actually, in inverted commas, targeting, I suppose. There we go. Nope, not quite. Come on, you little bugger. As I said before, I think Emperor Ring is a great boss, because this phase is just so much different to his first phase. That involves, like, running around annihilating him and then like super missiling, jumping over tentacles and stuff like that. Then here you're spidering onto him, and would it surprise you to know this isn't his final form either? So he's got a lot going on really, which makes him a great final boss. The bosses in this game as a whole are bloody great. Right, let's wait on this one, and there we go. Now, this is the Bastard's final form. He's like a giant warrior ring, and there you go, 100% of scans on Emperor Ring, and 97% of scans overall, which is great. Mutated Emperor Ring, altered ruler of Ing Horde. Further phase-on mutation of the Emperor Ring has occurred. This creature seems to only take damage when its heart is light or dark. Find a way to change the heart to one of these colours. So, his heart is what's inside his mouth, basically. Oh, he's doing the multi-laser like a warrior ring as well. Keep an eye on him. When his mouth is closed like that, you can't do anything, which is annoying. And what you want to do is hit him with super missiles when it's open. Super missile, singular actually, usually. Oh, apparently that wasn't quite enough. Oh no, there we go. So his heart, you'll notice, has gone purple, which means light to damage him there. So basically his heart goes dark, which means damage it with light, or his heart goes light, which means damage it with dark. I would really just go for shots or charged shots. Don't bother with your beam combos. Those, basically the light and dark beam combos are really designed for taking out large groups of enemies, really. They are not super powerful against any one thing, though I am going to try a sunburst. No, I'm not. It's actually just, it's just more reliable, I find, to just use like a charged dark light beam than actually bother. Ooh, there we go, that did a lot of damage to him. So, when he does a kind of flash out like that, his heart goes back to normal. And now here it's all just about hitting it with another super missile. As you can see, he's got a fair few attacks, and he does keep you on your toes like that. We've got so many heart containers, bloody idiots. I'm sure that hit. We've got so many energy tanks, it's really not a problem. And that's the thing in generally... Oh, it's gone light, which means we switch over to dark. That's often a thing with Metroid games. It's like, if you actually do 100% Metroid games, none of the bosses ever are actually that... Oh, I've been hit by a thing, which means I can't shoot. I was trying, trust me. I guess it's the same as his laser from last time, that it just disrupts your weapon systems. But yeah, like with Metroid bosses, like if you've actually like 100%ed it up to the point, got everything you can up to the point where you're fighting that boss is never going to... Oh, bloody hell. Never going to be much of a threat to you. Just because you'll have so many missiles and beam ammos and whatever. Oh, he's gone back to normal now. As you will have noticed, it's much nicer to hit him when he's in... when he's in dark mode versus when he's in light mode. As in, it's easier to damage him with light beams, because the light beam is just much faster, basically. It's a bit tricksy to actually hit him, and the fact that the light beam basically hits his target instantly... Annihilator Beam, not particularly useful here. You need to specifically match the polarity, well, oppose the polarity. If you use the Annihilator on him, the Annihilator can actually be useful. Some people have said definitely for getting him to this point. Ooh, he's thrown up a lot of Night Barbs. Basically, that's if you need some healing or additional beam ammo or whatnot. Night Barbs are your help. But yeah, you need to make sure you specifically counter the polarity rather than just match it, so the Annihilator will not work to do him damage when he's actually in that mode. Oh, he's sucked them back in. But you can do damage to him with the Annihilator in this mode, but it's just, honestly, super missiles, more useful. He's gone light, so that means we're going to dark. I think he pretty much does alternate. Oh, he's thrown up some dodgy thing, but I killed it, and it dropped a lot of light ammo, holy shit. I might, oh okay, when he's back I think I'll try Sonic Boom on him, just because I haven't shown off the Sonic Boom, and I probably should, if only on the literal final boss. Charged dark shots seem to go a bit faster than normal ones, so they're my favourite there. As you can see, we're halfway now. Right, let's get ready to Sonic Boom him. Nice thing about Sonic Boom, as I said, doesn't need to travel. Bam, it's there. And it's stupidly powerful. It's much more powerful. Oh, he's purple, which means light beam. Oh, and he's crapped me in with the old thing. Yes, so unlike even the light beam technically has to travel, but the Annihilator doesn't. The Annihilator is just there instantly, and it's extremely powerful. The price you pay for that, though, as you can see, is 5 missiles and 50 of both light and dark ammo, which is insanely expensive. Right, that's him back to normal now, so once again, super missile. I'm not going to bother with another Annihilator because I'm just running a little low on light beam. Not super low, but low enough I want to keep an eye on it. As you can see, I'm walking into phase on occasionally. I've lost a decent amount of health, probably a quarter of my overall health, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. That super missile should have been enough, and it was indeed enough. Oh, he's gone purple again, so it turns out he doesn't always alternate. That's worth knowing. I'm going to charge one up when he's doing that, and there's your moment. And now he's gone back. So he can do that now. At this point, he can actually switch between light and dark without going back to his heart being its normal colour, which can be problematic. Oh, come on. Come on, you ugly bastard. Ooh! But he's a fun boss, I say, because he's got multiple phases, which are all very different, and it kind of does use everything you've learned so far. And that's what, for me, final anything in any game, like final dungeons, final boss, whatever, should basically test what you've learned up until that point. And if it's the final boss, it should kind of test everything to some extent. Like, obviously, it'd be ridiculous if it was like, you need to use the screw attack to climb him or something like that. Like, I mean, it could work, but games have to be careful about how they implement that kind of thing. Like, literally testing everything. But here, it's light beam, dark beam, super missiles, polarity matching. It's all of the kind of stuff we've been used to so far, so it's good fun. Let's get a nice side shot element, and there we go. Plan to condition critical, escape at once. Yes, it just wouldn't be Metroid if it didn't have you escaping from the final boss against the clock. Oh, and that didn't end well for me at all. It was just the right length, that boss battle as well. I was just getting to the point where I was like, is this still going on? I was just starting to think that when the game was like, actually no. Which I think is very cool and a sign of good design, that just before you get annoyed, it's like, oh yes, you're done. Right, so getting out is obviously very easy because the Sky Temple is relatively straightforward in its shape. Oh dear. We now need to be up there because it's the top of the lift, which is the bottom. And then, yes, they give you 8 minutes for this, so it's bags of time, back down to the Sky Temple Gateway. Yes, in case you'd somehow forgotten about Dark Samus, here she is. And she is so clearly Metroid Prime now. Got a creepy skull and everything. So, this is Dark Samus. Supercharged with Phazon energy. Targets Phazon weaponry and defense systems are at full power. Phazon explosions have rendered Dark Samus invisible to your Dark Visor. Fortunately, since then we've gained an Echo Visor. Anyway, you don't need much Dark and Light ammo against Dark Samus, so while you've got it, really do use it. So, I mean, she's lasering me at the moment, so she's not vulnerable, but once she is vulnerable, lay into her with the Annihilator Beam, really, because you want to hold on to, you don't want to hold on to that light and dark ammo. So she's gone invisible, as you can see. So look for her Echo, and indeed there she is. Let's do a good bit of damage to her, and boing! Do love the old Sonic Boom. So, what's she doing? Is she flying around again? You will notice as well at the bottom, timer still 100% there. You gotta be real fast on this boss fight because it will kill you. There she goes. So when she's in Echo mode, very easy to do a lot of damage to with the Annihilator Beam, as you can see, but we've also rinsed through the ammo because some idiot thought it'd be a good idea to use the Sonic Boom. Anyway, now she's surrounded in a Phazon bubble, which gives us our final scan of the game, which is Dark Samus 4. Unstable Phazon energy form. Target can generate shield immune to all forms of attack except Phazon energy. Draw an expelled Phazon for use as a weapon. 100% of logbook scans. Wonderful. So you know this is definitely going to be the absolute real final boss. So, this is Dark Samus. So, as you can see, she's got a couple of attacks. Dark Samus 4, I meant to say there. There's your big one. So, I cocked it up completely. You got to watch that bubble. When the bubble... So you charge up your beam and you wait. When the bubble... She's not doing it. She's not doing... Filming a Let's Play here, damn it, woman. She's just going to do that same purple attack over and over again. Of course she is. Why would she not? There we go. The bubble contracts. And then it expands, and at that point, you can damage her again. So here, leather into her as you were doing so before. Use the Annihilator Beam if you have it. I do not. Really, but naffle ammo next. Now, watch the bubble. When the bubble expands, we're looking for... Oh my god. She's really against me here. There you go, that's it. See those bits of Phazon? Point at them. You'll note that my charge beam has gone blue. Hoo-there! And that is a good way of damaging her. Launch her own Phazon back at her. It's the only way you can deal damage to her while she's in this bubble mode. What you got to watch for yet is so the bubble not changing at all just means she's doing that same attack. If the bubble expands beforehand, it means she's about to do that attack. If it contracts, it means she's about to become real. So you can hit her with a super missile then, and she's going straight back into the bubble. Wonderful. Keep a beam charged because you'll need it. And yeah, keep an eye on the time. Not that it makes any difference because it's not like you are... If anything, she's slow here rather than you being slow. When you're waiting for those Phazon particles to come, and you're trying to pick them up, stop L targeting and point manually there. Can't remember what it was like on the GameCube version. Possibly very annoying because that's quite hard to do. But if you're L targeting, you won't be able to suck them in properly. As you notice there, I completely missed them. So it shrunk, which means boink. Oh, she reflected that one quite nicely. She doesn't tend to stay in this form for long, so hit her with another super missile while you got the chance. Super missiles don't do much to her, but also I've still got 159 missiles, so really there's no harm in it, is there? Right, what you gonna do? That looks like an expansion. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. That was a lie. There we go. Suck all of them in. The more you suck in, the more powerful your beam becomes. Then when you do hit her with it, you saw how much damage that did, so it really is actually dependent on sucking in the Phazon shards. Aye, you bugger. Come on. Up. Up. But yeah, you can see from the look of her how scully... That red skull that's inside her now was the second form of Metroid Prime from Metroid Prime, so final confirmation that if in case you needed it, that she is definitely the reincarnation... Well, not even reincarnation, just Metroid Prime having stolen one of your suits. Oh dear. And she is very ugly up close now. Right, she's going to bubble up again? Right, okay, let's hope we can kill her in this one. If I suck in enough Phazon, I should be able to... Oh no. Oh gosh, you can do a lot of that attack now. There you go, there's your expansion. So, suck in the Phazon. Got all of it. Bam!
And there you have it. So your reward for getting 80% of all scans, logbook entries, whatever, is creepy 2006 era Zero Suit Samus. Our 100% reward is still to come. So, let's talk about Echoes. I think it's for a same engine sequel, as in this is arguably just a reskinning of Metroid Prime. It's the same underlying game engine. I think it's really good. It is very different to the original. While remaining the same gameplay, it does mix it up a bit. You have cool stuff like you have the Echo Visor, you've got the light dark world mechanic. I'm often not hugely a fan of same engine sequels, but that one I think works really well. I think the light dark world stuff is used really well. So many puzzles go between the two. And I think it's used to its fullest extent, really. My issue with the game is it's very much beginning. It's kind of the immediately after its beginning. It's beginning when you land and you've got all the stuff with the splinters and trying to figure out what happened to the troopers. That's really cool when you first come across the Ing that way, and then the Darklings, and then you come across Umos. I think that works really well. Then you go to Agon, and then kind of do some stuff with Pirates and Dark Agon, and that from there is when it really kind of feels a bit directionless, and I think that's the point for which for a lot of people is a kind of turning off point. But then after, I find Amorbis is the turning point in this game. Amorbis was when I first played this, I was like, shit, that's really cool. And it really does get going after that. And it's genuinely just very enjoyable after that. It has a few issues, I find, a few plot issues. One of the ones that confuses me is how Dark Ether actually works. I assume Dark Ether, when it was created, is a mirror of Ether at that time, but it also has structures in it that were then present after Dark Ether was built. For example, Sanctuary Fortress is only built to its current stage with reactors and gyros and such in response to the Ing threat. So why those things are also there in the Ing Hive is a little confusing to me. The Ing as a whole, I feel like there could be a lot more made with them. None of their characters have any personality, and that's fine, because to a certain extent, because Metroid doesn't really do characters with personality. That's not Metroid's thing. But they don't feel like a very kind of present threat. They don't feel like a force who are just about to win a war and take over an entire world. It kind of feels like they've got the Luminoth on the verge of defeat, but then both sides are kind of just doing nothing and just waiting for Samus to turn up. And I know the Luminoth were literally doing that, but the Ing don't feel like they were that close to taking the world. Especially, once you take the energy from every area, they're saved, and, the Ing make no attempt to push back, which always feels a little odd to me. I guess part of it is you've got the energy transfer module, and I guess the reason why that was actually first in the Great Temple, where you found it, was because they were about to steal the final bit of engine and energy and do in Ether for good. But, it does a lot of things really nicely as well. I will say, while it's got great music, Torvus and Sanctuary have both got really cool music. It doesn't quite live up to the original Metroid Prime for music for me, but that's one of the best examples of game music ever for me. So, and it's always a bit of an awkward comparison because because Metroid Prime is such a good game, and Echoes is really good too. It's just not quite so good, but I really enjoy it genuinely. Final thing I think is really good actually is the Sky Keys. The way it kind of forces you to go back and explore areas you've already been to and get other stuff there, like the beam expansions and the power bombs and missiles and stuff like that. It kind of encourages you to do that by making you explore old areas. I think it's quite nice. So what's next? Whew. Well, Metroid Prime 3 is going to be coming eventually, don't worry. If you want it particularly, let me know in the comments what you thought of this. Obviously, I always want that at the end of any series, but let me know what you thought, whether you watched Metroid Prime before, like my old series, whether you played those games or not. And yeah, let me know what you think about doing Corruption. I am absolutely going to do it eventually. I tend to, if I'm doing games that have sequels, I tend to wait a while to go from the sequel to the new game. No, from the new game to the sequel. No, from the old game to the sequel. There we go. Oh, end of the credits, so something's going to happen, maybe. Mission final. Mission final? That sounds weird. Percentage complete. 100%. Total time, completely wrong. Total time says 9:25. I fuck knows how it scores that. It might be time completely excluding loading screens, menus, something like that. I've got written in my notes, in huge capital letters, total time is bollocks. It's been 11 hours 30 as of episode 21. So looking at the time on my recording at the moment, which is 2 hours 19, that means it has been... It means it's been nearly 14 hours. So a whole 4 hours, well, 3.5 hours more than its estimate. So, lies, all of it. So, yes. I don't want to press A to continue yet, because we're about to get a 100% of this thing, and I want that to be the final shot of the series. So, yes, let me know what you think about doing Corruption. The more people who want it, the sooner it gets moved up my list. It won't be for a while. It probably won't be this year. It'll be 2020 at the earliest. God, that's weird to think. I probably won't even be in this country then. Hopefully not. Anyway, so, yeah, a lot will depend on how well this series does, and it's done quite well, but I'll be keeping an eye on that to determine when to do Corruption. But Corruption's a really good game as well, and a nice rounding off to the end of the series. I just want to quickly reflect on this as a Let's Play thing. I think... Wow, this is the weird thing. This is my 4th session of recording Echoes. I've recorded the entire game, all 23 episodes in 4 sessions. 1 for each area, and then 1 for cleanup at the end. I think I'm getting better at doing longer sessions, but I think I really enjoy playing this game. It's a really nice game. It's partly because of the save point system. It means you can't just start and stop whenever. I have to really, plan it. But it means it is a really easy game to just sit down and play a lot of. And I think I'm getting better at doing that recording-wise, which is great. I don't want to blow my own horn or anything, but I want to say the visualizers look fantastic for this. It's one of my favourite visualizers. Which had bars, it had fading in elements, it had the keys on the right, items on the left. I think it looked really cool. But you know me, always a fan of my visualizers. Plop, plop. That's the sound of me blowing my own horn. All I would say about this in the negative is that it's not an easy game to commentate. There's either too little downtime or kind of too much. There's not a lot of time to just kind of unwind, and there are bits where I end up kind of going off topic and talking, and I just stay still while I'm doing it because there's so much stuff to remember to do, like the right doors to go through, the right enemies to scan, stuff like that. It means I can't really switch off from the gameplay and just go into commentary mode quite so easily. I'm always just talking about what's exactly in front of me, which is a bit tougher. But it was an enjoyable one to do, and hopefully it was decent. Let me know what you thought. What's next? So, what's next? 2 bonus episodes for this are incoming. One on we've unlocked a fair few concept art and galleries, which I'll talk through, and then there's also this game has multiplayer. And I recorded a few months ago with the other gentleman. I was playing that multiplayer. All I will say is it did not go particularly well, but I have that footage and I will include it, so that'll be the bonus episode for this. There'll be a second bonus episode as well, which is a Let's Edit, which is mostly filmed now. It's a bit of a hell of a thing to put together because there's a lot of editing involved in this one, so obviously explaining how I do that is never going to be an easy process, but hey, people have expressed curiosity about my editing process, and this will shine hopefully a good bit of light on that. As for what's up next, well, I've got an inter-project project, and the next one coming is one of my childhood games which I actually hated, so I don't know entirely why I'm playing it. I have fond memories of it, but it's a really fucking hard game. It's called Super Monkey Ball 2. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but if you're not, that'll be a fun thing. So that'll be just 10 episodes over the coming weeks. Well, it won't be immediately. It'll depend. I haven't filmed it yet, and at the end of March I'm going to Germany for a week, and if I haven't got it done before then, it won't be going up then. But then following that will be something new. That will be my next major project, and it's going to be something I've wanted to do for ages. And there'll be a little trailer for that following this. So, without further ado, this has been Metroid Prime 2 for the final time. I have been the Doctor, and let's take our reward for 100%. Good day.